So I wanted to point out that my eyes, you can kind of tell how Asian my eyes look when I'm looking like this, but there's also some smoke coming from right here. I don't know if you can see it. It's not even right there. There it is. Behind this cathedral building. Right there. And you can see some smoke coming from right here. But yeah, I was facing the sun. Well, I was facing the side right here. It was facing that way, the chair. But then I decided to just turn it this way. I turned it toward the outside window just to get a view and just feel the heat because my hands were freezing. The 20 minutes that it took me to walk to this library, but anyways, it's 3:33 right now, and I have to go basically have a talk with my manager about something, but yeah. What happened? What have I done over the past week? Well, I used a manual shave because I was trying to shave with my electric one like I always have, but it shut off. So my first time ever using the manual shave. So I was trying to make it a low cut down here, but I just said, let me shave the rest off because I was doing this and took a big part off. Man, my skin was showing and I didn't want it to be uneven. It'll grow back. So over this process, I have found a place that was very low cost of living. So I'm looking at that. And I told some of my coworkers, and one of the black aunties was like, share the love. We're all looking for a place. But yeah, that's just it. And there's a place on the way to the library. I forgot to take a picture last week, but I took a picture today, several minutes ago. What are these white bumps for? They're probably natural, but just natural part after shaving. I used shaving cream for the first time too. I've never used that, nor have I used a manual razor. And I did like cut myself for the first time using a manual, but it was down here and it's gone. But I found a place. I'm just waiting for something to arrive that I have to pick up, without doxing myself. But yeah, that should be there by the 19th. Then I have to wait all Christmas week. That rental place is probably going to be closed all Christmas week. So yeah. I want to mention something about Christianity because I was meditating today. It's just like this like I don't consider myself a Christian because like traditional. I don't mind using the word God, but I know that traditional Christians don't even want to talk about spirituality. They don't want to talk about like the 432 hertz vibrations. Like, I feel like the first use of the word vibrations was like in public common knowledge was probably Bob Marley when he would say like cool vibes or something, or vibrations or something. But that is spiritual. Like when you walk in and someone has negative intentions, like someone's a fake friend or like a snake or something, you're going to feel a vibration, like even if you don't know the reason behind it. Even someone who's never heard that term, or someone who doesn't know about that realm of knowledge, they still experience it. Like a lion doesn't know the science behind their roar, but they still do it. Like the roar is chemically designed to make the human brain more aware when the human ears hear that. So and several other animals, like the bass, like the exact frequency of a growl of a big cat. And a lot of smoke. But I dated a woman who was like, she would read tarot cards, like, or she would probably took them, or she had crystals and stuff, and she was into like a lot of spirituality and meditation. And then after she went on like a meditation retreat to Vermont, it was a mixed girl who was like a year or two younger than me. When we went on a date, she was like, she had a notification that said God's got you or something like that, or something along those lines. Like when I say God's got you, that means like God is watching over you, God is protecting you. So like I can sit down and talk with those type of Christians. It's just like the Christians who like there's even some Christians who try and look at the spiritual meaning, like they try and break down like the spiritual connection or like the mathematical like what is the spirituality behind Christianity, like what is the message, and like what how are you supposed to carry yourself as a better individual in the universe, as opposed to just dressing up and going on Sunday to like a traditional Christian would, even though the traditional Christians would not be okay with like the looking into the spiritual aspects of stuff. Like even the type of Christians who are more spiritually in tune, I can sit down and talk with them and like I can really vibe with that conversation. And that's the word I used, vibe again. So I was just realizing that as I was getting in the shower. Also, I got my time extended so I can sleep in from 12 p.m. and I got that extended to I can now sleep in I can now be upstairs until 2 p.m. I was taking a shower around 1:30 or something like that. I got it. That's around the time I got out. And instead of having to be back at the shelter by 3 a.m., now I can be out until 4 a.m. Because over the past week, I believe it was over this past week, I got there just a smidge, like at 2:45 a.m., and I was sitting there waiting for 10 fucking minutes. I would have told them on camera. I would have told them to look at the camera. And I was nervous. I was like, because the security at the front was having a long ass conversation with somebody who was just in front of me who was still standing outside. And then I had to interrupt them. I was like, "Hey, sir, it says I have to be back in here by 3 a.m. and it's 2:58 now." I get inside and that security um, came inside the locker while I was putting my stuff in, and I said, "Am I in trouble?" And he was like, "Well, you're standing here right now. Think about it." And he's kind of weird because this morning when I got back from work, he was like, I showed him my stuff, and then I walked over to the other side. I put my backpack and my shoes over there because I had to sit down and eat curly fries and a bunch of turnovers. I just decided to eat all of them just to pack on those pounds, make them go to my ass and make me thicker. No, but just to I just didn't feel like going back outside, and like I don't. I just wanted to eat more food because like I've been like going a while getting hungry really fast, and I think this is my third time getting sick within the past 3 months, but it's something light. And I noticed that like a few days ago, like my urine, I was urinating, and then the last few drops had the consistency of like lotion or something, but it was still like yellow, but it had sort of a whitish color. It wasn't fully clear. I would do this, I would do this at the end, and then it would be like a little bit of stickiness, and then it would stop right there. And I was really nervous, and then I looked the next time I urinated that day, and it was fine. I'm like I haven't done anything like to that degree within a while. I only did it once, so within the whole past year. So and that was recent, but not super recent. So and that was my first time being with like a actual masculine looking guy, and it might be my only time because I like women, and I also like trans women, and also men who are feminine, like feminine men. So that might have been my only time with like a masculine guy. Um, but in early November. So let me see. But yeah, I'm in. I finally found a place that is super cheap. It's on a house. It's on a website that lets me look for housing that is more affordable. Um, that they did not respond. They kept. It's the one that kept using AI. I gave up on it, and then somebody at the place I volunteer at, they told me that it's a real place. They told me like a bunch of other stuff. They know people who live there, and it's a nice place. And they told me they had someone with no income. Also, I got into pretty much an argument with my top manager yesterday because she was telling me you're gonna have to find another job, and I was like, I already got another job figured out, even though it's really the stock market, but because I already have my income just went up over $1,000 last Thursday, because get paid early. What is today? This Thursday. So today's Sunday, 3 days ago. just went up over 1,000, just crossed over 1,000. Actually went from 900 something to 1,200 something. So now I have enough. I have about $157 in my portfolio. I can add more, but I'm going to be a lot more disciplined this time. That way I can make money a lot faster, because $600, a 10% increase is $60 a day. I get paid $12 an hour at Arby's, but my past, let me see. It's 3:43 right now. I have to leave soon. My past, what the fuck? I'm gonna look at the schedule app right now. This week. So my manager was off. My manager was off for Christmas doing stuff. Let me go to my punches. Whatever the fuck. Okay, so let's backtrack on this. November 10th to 16th, that was 25 hours, 26 minutes. 17th to 23rd was 26 hours and 36 minutes. 1, 2, 3, 4. That was just me working 4 days. November 24th to 30th was 27 hours, 31 minutes. 1, 2, 3, 4. That was me working 4 days. December 1st to 7th was 34 hours and 4 minutes. It says 6 days, but it was really 6:55 p.m. until 12:43 a.m. on Monday. So you get the idea. Basically 5 days a week. But this comes up as 6. Let me see. 1st to 7th, days of 14th, and then December 8th to 14th. So this week, not including the shift I'm about to work, which is going to go until 1 a.m. is oh, I have to text someone. One of my matches. I said I'll text them today, and then if you don't text me by 12:30 a.m., then I'm going to go home. And then, yeah, there was one Latina who speaks Spanish. I was like, "Are you big?" She was like 11. I was saying, "I don't believe it." I said, "I would like to see a hard picture." And then I was like, I said in Spanish today, by the way, if you didn't read my one rule, it says, if you stop texting me for 1 week, I'll delete the conversation. I'm here to meet people. And then a kiss emoji. And then she sent me something, but when I came back, it was gone. It was a trans woman on an app. But this week, 8th to 14th, so far, I'm at 24 hours and 50 minutes. But next week, what is this? Next week, I'm working. No, that's the 8th. So on the 16th, I'm off Monday. Monday the 15th. The 16th, I'm working 4 hours and 30 minutes, 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. because I close. Off Wednesday. So that's 6 hours, 50. Wait. The 18th, I'm working from 7 p.m. to 2 a.m., 6 hours, 30 minutes. The 19th, I'm working from 8 p.m. to 1 a.m. That's 5 hours. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 11 hours and 30 minutes right now. I'm working 3 days a week, 11 hours and 30 minutes, 12, 13, 14, 15 hours and 30 minutes, now 16 hours. So I'm working 16 hours. I had to work backwards next week. And I told the top manager, you guys keep on keeping problem individuals. And don't be crying to me next week when those individuals don't show up and you want to call me to come in 30 minutes, because you can call me to come in 24 hours in advance, because I texted them on Friday. If there are any extra shifts I can pick up from 5 p.m. or later, I'm willing to take them, because I volunteer now. I'm no longer available the whole day because my volunteer stops all business at that facility at 4 p.m. If there's any shifts I can pick up from 5 p.m. or later, I'm willing to take them. I'm more likely to take them if I'm notified at least 24 hours in advance. Then I sent another text. I usually try to get 30 hours a week, hopefully, if I can. Top manager, she said, I'll let them know we are just slow right now. This weather doesn't help. That was sent on Friday. And then I sent a text to the second in command. I texted top manager's name about this, but I texted top manager this, but if there's any extra shifts from 5 p.m. or later, I'm willing to take them. I'm more likely to make it if I'm notified at least 24 hours in advance. I usually try to get 30 hours a week if I can. And I sent him another text yesterday, the second in command. I sent him a second text yesterday. I have a work-related question to ask you tomorrow before my shift starts. I'll let you guys know what that is. But the argument it wasn't really an argument, it was really a back and forth with the top manager yesterday. Was like, when the people who no call, no show, when they continue to show up to work, because there are people who don't show up, when they continue to show up next week, don't come crying to me telling me to come in 1 hour, because this second in command texted me on November 10th. He said, hey, this is second in command from work. Would you want to come in 7 to 10, 7 to 1 a.m., 7 p.m. to 1 a.m.? He texted me at 5:23 p.m. So I can't really, and then yesterday, the top manager, she said, if you can't come into work, that's on you, because you live 20 minutes or whatever amount she said, from work. But the thing is, I told her, I have to leave, I have to come back to the shelter and get my stuff. And when she was telling me to get another job, she was looking away from me while saying it. So, but she was standing at the table. She came back there just to reiterate to me that I might have to get another job, and she was walking away. When she was walking away, I was like, I'm trying to save up to get a place. But the place I'm going to, by the way, the place I'm going to is income based. So I'm applying for a 1-bedroom and a studio. I have both applications, 2 folders in there. Once I have all the stuff I need, I'm going to actually turn that application back in. But whether I get approved for a 1-bedroom or studio, I'm going to be paying the same amount, because it'll be based on income anyways. It'll basically be Section 8, which sounds so ghetto just to say. I live on Section 8. Like that phrase, just the connotation. But I'm going to talk to the second in command. He's going to be in at 4. I'm going to talk to him because basically last week on the 7th, there was somebody, he was like, oh, okay. He was saying the night before, I think on Saturday, I took an extra shift last Sunday. It was supposed to be from 7 p.m. until 12:30 a.m., which I'm glad he told me to stop at 10 a.m. because at least I get my check earlier. But me and this one ghetto girl came in at the same time. The night before, he said, if you're a much better worker, so if she comes in, I'm going to send her home. And if she doesn't want to go home, I'm just going to fire her because you're a much better worker. But what happened was, when lo and behold, she wanted to swap her shift. And I said, I can take her shift. And he said, yeah, that's cool. I asked him on Saturday, December 6th at 10:24 a.m. I saw that such and such was trying to swap her shift for tomorrow from 7 p.m. to 12:30 a.m. I'm cool taking her shift if that's fine. And he said, yeah, that's cool. I texted at 10:24 a.m. He responded at 10:29 a.m. At 10:32 a.m. I responded saying, tight, thanks for looking out. And when she lo and behold showed up, she was trying to confront me. I was like, talk to the manager. And she was like, I'm supposed to be here. I don't know what he's talking about. And then I walked up to the front counter and was like, I was like, I didn't say anything to you. She was all the way in the back. And then I went back to sit down. Then the ghetto girl and another manager, these 2 female managers have had an argument before because the ghetto girl did not show up on time, and the other female manager was saying because the one girl was like outside when she was supposed to be at work, and she walked in late, and the manager was like talking to her, and they started screaming in front of customers. They're both women. And the second in command was telling me, like, we're too old for this. It's like those 2 ladies, he said females, but it's like, I would say women. Those 2 women were just like arguing. That was way before. But what happened last week is, when the one girl came in and was asking the manager what happened, the manager switched up on me. And the manager was like, I have no idea. When the ghetto girl was like confronting him about why we were both at the same shift. And then what the manager decided to do was keep her for the entire shift until 12:30 a.m. and then send me home at 10 p.m., making me only work 3 hours. So, but the thing is, if I start to get confrontational, like, watch how many people over there will start to respect me now. Because, like, what that situation tells me is that that male manager who's second in command, he's not a man of his word. He doesn't stick to his word. So I'm gonna be like, I might go in today and be like, I'm telling you, don't do that fucking bullshit with me ever again. Are we clear on that? Like, I might tell him like that. But yeah, that's the plan. And it's 3:52 p.m. right now. I can't even see. They gather right there on the other side to give out food, and I really have to use the restroom. You can see me doing the dance. you can see my knees moving like that. Look. I saw a video where the one gay guy was in Target and there was a white girl next to him, and they were like squatted down doing that thing where they run forward with their knees. You know what I'm talking about, what the gays do, what trans and drag queens do. But do you think I look more attractive when I'm clean shaven? Anywho, my hair's coming back. Yeah, it was much worse than this. So Bosley is Bosley is at work. I have like a good amount of selfies like documenting this, like the fact that my hair is up this high, like you guys saw previous videos where I was doing this and I had almost no hair left when I was first losing everything in like August, September, October, November, December. It's 3 months later.